Hey guys, welcome to the In the Game Room podcast. This is Alan in the Game Room, and I'm still getting caught up from my trip to Adepticon. A lot of things to talk about that I brought back with me from there. First off, I want to do a little bit of a mini review on these two vehicles here. These are 28 millimeter modern resin vehicles from Spectre Miniatures. These are provided for their game Spectre Operations. However, of course, I guess you could use them for any 28 millimeter modern game. And they're, like I said, they're both resin models. This one here, all of the parts are resin. This one here, all the parts are resin except this little bit that goes behind the back window, which I haven't attached yet because I want to be able to paint that window first. And also the mirrors were metal, I believe. Might as well address that issue right away. The kit is supposed to have mirrors, and it didn't. I can't be 100% certain that I didn't lose them, but I'm pretty sure they didn't come with it. But I just placed another order with Spectre Miniatures, so I wrote them and said if you could send a set of mirrors, that would be great. So I'm sure they will. Let's go the pros and cons of both of these vehicles. First of all, the Humvee, or they call it HMV. It's like I said, it's all resin. It's several parts. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 main parts, and then the 4 wheels, and then the turret ring on top. It's very well done. I haven't measured it to make sure it's exactly 1/56 scale or not. I don't really care that much. It looks right, and that's good enough for what I'm doing with it. The castings were all very good. A little bit of cleanup on some of the parts where they pour the resin in, the gates where they come into the parts. They just snipped them off, so that had to be sanded off a little. That's totally normal on a resin cast kit. But other than that, it went together with no problem. Everything fit the way it should. It's a good looking little model. Now, I bought these both from Spectre at their booth at Adepticon, and for some reason they didn't have with them any of the weapons for the Humvees or for the Technicals or anything. They didn't have any weapons at all, so these guys don't have weapons yet. But that was on the order that I just placed. I'm getting some weapons to put on these guys. So once that's done, then I can paint them and all that stuff. I'm also getting a couple of upgrades for the Humvee. And that's one of the cool things about Spectre Miniatures. They make the basic kit, and then they make different upgrades you can add that are very reasonably priced. Some as low as like $2.50, $3. Well, actually, £2.50, £3. Some about £5 or £6. But they can really add a lot to your model. So I've ordered some of those upgrades. There's an upgrade that goes around the back, these sort of armor panels that go around the back. There's the antennas and sensors upgrade. I got that as well. And like I said, I got a couple of different weapons. I'm going to figure out a way to magnetize the weapons so I can swap them out depending on what I want to do. But overall, very satisfied with this model. It's really pretty nice. Now that I'm holding on to it, I think I put this wheel on a little bit crooked, so I'll have to address that. But other than that, I give that one a high mark. Looks good. This one here, same deal. The castings are all resin. They're pretty good castings. There was a little more cleanup on some of these than on the Humvee. This probably is a much older design. This might have been one of their first models. I don't know. So it's not as nice, but it's fine. It's fine for the purpose that we're going to use it for. My only real issue with this model is proportions. I'll post some pictures if I need to make this a little more clear, but the height of this cab from the windowsill to the top just looks exaggerated quite a bit. It looks way too tall in proportion to the rest of the vehicle. Maybe the rest of the vehicle is too short, I don't know, but I don't think the distance between the top of the window and the top of the model should be greater than the entire size of the door, and it is in this case. So it just looks a little awkward. It looks a little bit cartoony. But again, for the I'm not building a diorama for the Smithsonian. I'm just going to use this for gaming. I'm going to put a weapon in the back, and it's going to do its job. So it'll be fine. But if I have to find something to complain about, it'll be the proportions of that cab. But other than that, it looks like a fine model. It went together easy. Just like the other one, like I said, the gates where the resin is poured in needed to be sanded down and nice and straight so that it would go together properly. But once that was done, it's a piece of cake to assemble it. Not that many pieces. This one is the front of the model, the bed, the tailgate, the four wheels, and the bumper. Those are all the parts. And then of course this little metal bit that goes across the back, and the missing antennas. Not antennas, mirrors. So it's a very simple kit. So both of these, surprisingly, are the same price. Actually, this, if I was pricing these out, this would be a little bit more. It's more material. It's a nicer model, but they are the same price. They were both 18 British pounds each, which currently is $23 US. So 23 for these is not bad at all. I think for the Humvee it's perfect. For the technical, yeah, maybe I would go a couple of bucks less myself, but it's fine. I'm happy with both of them. So we're gonna get the weapons for them pretty soon. We'll paint them up and then we'll have another look at them. But if I had to give these, a score out of 10 right now, I would say this model is probably in the 8 or 9 range. It's pretty high. This one I'd have to go around 7-ish. But they're both perfectly suited for what they're made for, and they're going to be great models for wargaming. I also picked up some vehicles in the same scale, the same genre, from another company while I was at Adepticon, and those are from a company called Tabletop Tactical Simulations, and they are distributed, I believe, through, what is their name now? I think it's called Model Building Authority, or Miniature Building Authority, MBA. They sell these. This company is somehow connected to that company, and they sell them. So I got from them, I got this Joint Light Tactical Vehicle, the JLTV, which is a pretty cool looking vehicle. And I also got this 2.5 ton truck, sort of the modern version of the Deuce and a Half, I guess, if you will. And these I will be opening up and reviewing on another podcast, but I just want to let you know those are coming. They're going to be used in the same sort of scenarios, same sort of setups as these guys here. And then from these guys here, from the Tabletop Tactical Simulations, I have some more stuff coming from them. They released at the, they announced at Adepticon a series of 4 Hemmet trucks. Hemmets, you probably, even if you don't know what the name is, you've seen them before. They're those big 8-wheeled US trucks. And they released 4 different versions. They released a gun truck, a wrecker, a tanker, and just a sort of normal cargo one, I believe. So there's 4 of them. I have those on order, on pre-order, because they're not actually out yet. But those will be coming in pretty soon. So hopefully when that happens, I'll review all of the vehicles from them all at once, and that'll be pretty cool. So I think that's about it for today. These guys, like I said, I gave this guy around about an 8, this guy about a 7. They're both great miniatures. They're going to be good for 28mm modern skirmishes. They're going to be a lot of fun to play with. Once I get those weapons on them and get them painted, I'll show you guys again. So I think that's it for now. Until next time, keep on gaming.